Wonderful is living world. The wide range of living type is amazing. The extraordinary habitats in which we find living organism, be it cold mountains, deciduous forest, ocean, freshwater lakes, desert or hot spring, leave us speechless. The beauty of galloping horse, of the migrating birds, the valley of flowers, or the attacking shark evokes away a deep sense of wonder. Ecological conflict and cooperation among member of population and among population of community or even the molecular traffic inside a cell make us deeply reflect on what the indeed is life. This question has two implicit question within it. The first is technical one and seek an answer to what is living is as opposed to the non-living, and the second is philosophical one and seek answer to what the purpose of life is. As scientists we shall not attempt answering the second question, we will try to reflect on what is living organism. If you look around you will see the large variety of living organism, be it potted plants, insect, birds, your pets or other animals and plants. There are also several organisms that you cannot see with your naked eye, but they are all around you. If you were to increase the area that you make observation in, the range and variety of organisms that you see will increase. Obviously, if you were to visit a dense forest, you will probably see a much greater number and kind of living organism in it. Each different kind of plants, animals or organism that you see represent a species. The number of species that are known and described range between 1.7 to 1.8 million. This refers to number and type of organism present on earth. We should remember here that as we explore new areas and even old ones, new organisms are continuously being identified. As stated earlier, there are millions of plants and animals in the world. We know the plants and animals in our own area by their local names. These local names will vary from place to place even within the country. Probably you will recognize the confusion that would be created if we did not find way and means to talk to each other to refer to organism we are talking about. Hence, there is a need to standardize the naming of living organism. That particularly organism is known by same name all over the world. This process is called nomenclature. Obviously, nomenclature or naming is only possible when the organism is described correctly and we know to what organism the name is attached to. This is identification. In order to facilitate study, the number of scientists have established procedures to assign a scientific name to each known organism. This is acceptable to biologists all over the world. For plants, scientific names are based on agreed principle and criteria which are provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature ICBN. You may ask, how are animals named? Animal taxonomists have evolved International Code of Zoological Nomenclature ICZN. The scientific name ensure that each organism has only one name. Description of any organism should enable the people in any part of the world to arrive at the same name. They also ensure that such a name has not been used at the same name. They also ensure that such a name has not been used for any other known organism. Biologists follow universally accepted principle to provide scientific name to known organism. Each name has two components, generic name and the specific epithet. This system of providing a name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. This naming system given by Carlos Linnaeus is being practiced by biologists all over the world. This naming system using a two-word format was found convenient. Let us take an example of mango to understand the way of mango is written as Magnifera indica. Let us see how it is a binomial name. In this name, Magnifera represent the genus, while indica is a particular species or specific epithet. Other universal rules of nomenclature are as follows. First, biological names are generally in Latin and written in italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin irrespective of their origin. Second, the first word in biological name represent the genus, while the second component denotes a specific epithet. Third, both the words in a biological name, when handwritten, are separately underlined or printed in italics to indicate their Latin origin. Word denoting the genus starts with a capital letter while the specific epithet starts with a small letter. It can be illustrated with example of Magnifera indica. Name of the author appears after the specific epithet. At the end of the biological name, N is written in an abbreviated form, Magnifera indica Linnaeus. It indicates that this species was first described by Linnaeus. Since it is nearly impossible to study all the living organisms, it is necessary to devise some means to make this possible. This process is classification. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient category based on some easily observable characters. For example, we easily recognize groups such as plants or animals or dogs, cats or insects. The moment we use any of these terms, we associate certain characters with the organism in that group. What image do you see when you think of dog? Obviously, each one of us will see dogs and not cats. Now, to think of Alsatians, we know what we are talking about. Similarly, suppose we were to say mammals, you would of course think of animals with external ears and body hairs. Likewise, in plants, if we try to of talk of wheat, the picture in each of our mind will be of wheat plant, not of rice or any other plant. Hence, all these dogs, cat, mammals, wheat, rice, plants, animals, etc. are convenient category we use to study organism. The scientific term for this category is taxa. Here you must recognize that taxa can indicate category at very different levels. Plant also form a taxa. Wheat is also a taxa. Similarly, animal, mammal, dogs are all taxa. But you know that dog is mammal and mammals are animals. Therefore, animals, mammals, and dog represent taxa at different level. Hence, based on characteristic, all living organisms can be classified into different taxa. This process of classification is taxonomy, external and internal structure, along with the structure of cell development. Process and ecological information of organism are essential and form the basis of modern taxonomic studies. Hence, characterization, identification, classification, and nomenclature are processes that are basic to taxonomy. Taxonomy is not something new. Human beings have always been interested in knowing more and more about the various kinds of organisms, particularly with reference to their own use. In early days, human beings needed to find sources for their basic needs of food, clothing, and shelter. Hence, the earliest classification were based on uses of various organisms. Human beings were since long not only interested in knowing more about different kinds of organisms and their diversities, but also the relationship among them. This branch of study was referred to as systematics. The word systematic is derived from the Latin word systema, which means systematic arrangement of organisms. Linnaeus used Systema Naturae as the title of his publication. The scope of systematics was later enlarged to include identification, nomenclature, and classification. Systematics take into account evolutionary relationships between organisms. Taxonomic category. Classification is not a single step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called the taxonomic category, and all categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Each category referred to as a unit of classification, in fact, represent a rank and is commonly termed as taxon. Taxonomic category and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Insect represent a group of organisms sharing common feature like three pair of joint legs. It means insects are recognizable concrete object which can be classified and thus were given a rank or category. Can you name other such groups of organisms? Remember, group represent category. Category further denotes rank. Each rank or taxon in fact represent a unit of classification. These taxonomic group categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregates. Taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to the development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum, or division for plants. Class, order, family, genus, and species. All organisms, including those in the plant and animal kingdom, have species as the lowest category. Now, the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. The basic requirement is the knowledge of characters of an individual or group of organisms. This helps in identifying similarities and dissimilarities among the individuals of the same kind of organism